been like 5 days. Can you still get a Skaventide?
Oh yeah.
Question is, can you still get 10 Skaventides?
I think you still can get 10. I think you can still go on the website and buy 10 at a time. Well, actually, I haven't double checked. Maybe it's unlimited now. I don't know.
Hey guys, welcome to a Lords of War Games and Hobbies market update for the summer edition. Update. We figured we'd do this right after Skaventide came out because I feel it's a good time to talk about how things are going. Of course, when we do our market updates, we are talking about our corner of the world, the people we talk to in the industry, other hobby shops, some people we still know at GW. People that do this type of content in other spheres of the world and have some kind of talks with other people in the industry. So just keep that in mind. We don't know everything, but we do try to stay somewhat objective within that realm. So we figured we'd start with AOS because that seems like the thing to start with right now.
It is the one that just got the edition. Just literally the other day.
Yeah, so let's obviously this weekend is when like the meat and potatoes comes out for the people that didn't buy in Skaventide. So you get your faction packs, General's Handbook, which is the book that everyone's going to want to buy, but all the rules and stuff have been online for about a week. So
yeah, if you had to buy one book, I would get the handbook. That's the one that matters the most. If you want to play Spearhead, then you do. And you want a book for it, then you do need to get the one. You need to buy Skaventide. But I would say the best bang for your buck. And actually, they did reduce the price on it. It's $53 for the handbook, which is it had been as much as $65 during the first year of 3.0 when they tried to do 2 seasons in 1 year.
I think it was 40 when it came out, and then it was 50, and then it was 60, and then 65.
Yeah, and now it's 53. Yeah. So that was a pleasant surprise. Otherwise, it's everything, including the endless spells, which, again, it frustrates the hell out of me that that's the only place to see what endless spells do. But yeah, the handbook is the book to buy. But continuing on.
Skaventide, flop or not?
The Skaventide is
flop or not?
Flop.
Flop?
It flopped.
He's putting the flop one up. We need more things to put up in the air.
Yeah.
It flopped. Man. Well, it didn't flop here in our store, ironically.
No,
but I think we were pretty happy with
maybe the 12 armies we have in the cabinet and the 40 videos we made that are destroying our channel. And
we keep pouring AOS water into people's mouth. They're just choking and dying or whatever. It's just like
this tastes awful.
Yeah.
It probably has something to do with that.
Yeah.
And maybe a sprinkle of like decades of experience and all that. Maybe. What do I know?
But it doesn't sound like across the chain it did very well.
No. Especially
Especially comparing to previous iterations. I mean, yeah.
Like we said this in our previous Skaventide lead up and whatever pre-launch videos. We said it a bunch of times that people that this was like a whiplash thing that was going to happen after the debacle of Dominion and the escalating big box thing, and how even Leviathan, which was the crowning jewel of 40k 10th, did not sell out like it finally, like now they're starting to go away a full year and a bit later. That to expect the AOS version to do the same, it was written all over it that this was just going to fizzle a bit. For all those of you that bought one, I mean, you're probably enjoying the heck out of it, but
we're probably in a situation where I think we've said this in our previous video is like the people that are wanting it buy it now, and nobody is feeling FOMO to buy something that they don't want.
No FOMO. Yeah.
So. Yeah. I as a consumer, I think we're in the healthiest probably place there, because you don't feel the urgency. You can be like, maybe I'll get it if I want to,
right?
And you actually legitimately have the time for that.
Mm-hmm.
But from a retailer perspective, the danger is that these are launch boxes, not starter sets. So they have a much bigger price tag. They take up a lot of space, and these aren't necessarily products that you want to have in your store for a long period of time.
No. Like I mean, we threaded the needle perfectly. We have like 1, maybe 2 left. Mm-hmm. It's like exactly what you want. You want to sell through and have a couple left for later.
Yeah.
But anyway, so The ramifications, I don't know. You know, I think you're going to get a lot of videos and articles. They're going to be like, oh, GW's, you know, they're stuck with heavy bags now and this and that. Maybe
I don't know, but
maybe,
like putting the price up does though is that it makes it like they didn't have to sell as many.
No,
either, right? Yeah. And I think that's the thing that they're getting into. They're like, maybe we don't want to sell like, maybe they don't want what happened with Indominus. They don't want to sell $1 billion $200 box sets. They'd rather sell like, I don't know, you know, I'm obviously exaggerating with the numbers, but like they'd rather sell a couple $100,000 $300 $320 box sets.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to their like sales numbers or internally, they're gonna, you know, they always break it by like weekends and months and stuff, you know. And if their July still ends up being pretty good because 40K did well still and AOS did fine, you know, I think they're gonna overall look at it and be like, okay. Now for us, we hope that there is a hope, but I would think. I think some negative data on their end would overall help us because then they might be like, okay, maybe we need to change how we offer this product a little bit. I think they're still tremendously banking on some of the new features, the edition aging well, and I think there's still obviously a chance. I think I'm trying not to be like I'm not one of those people that's going to be like, no, it's doomed already, it's garbage. I think you know, like some of their games, sometimes they take time, and people forget it does take time for people to play and enjoy the new offerings and discover the new rules. But yeah, just based on this the hype before the launch and now after and the dust settling, yeah, it was kind of meh. It was not.
It's not the launch you wanted to see. It's not like people going nuts. It's not people.
There's no one waiting
rushing
outside
to start a new army and stuff like that. That's
yeah,
and that's ultimately like how we'll end this AOS update. But part of the update is the proof is going to be in the pudding. Is like how many new people are getting into Age of Sigmar with this exciting new 4th edition.
Yeah,
the most balanced edition ever, as they claim. Yeah. Well, I mean,
we'll see.
And so far, from what it said, like all of the existing players seem pretty happy with the 4th edition rules and are excited and are gonna. But how many? You know, ultimately, like I said, it's gonna really rest on how many new people they can bring in because that is what they desperately need for AOS right now. We need new blood, new people playing. So that's a wait and see. So we'll probably do one of these at the end of the summer. And kind of see where AOS has did they have the successful launch that they were hoping for?
I mean, look, we'll see what happens in the next ad or later this ad, but like they have some silver bullets in the chamber that they are not using. Like there is like factions that are in the lore that are not being released yet. Whether it's Dark Elves or Shadow Elves or whatever you call them, or Chaos Dwarves or something like that, like.
It's true.
Like, what are you doing? Like,
they have some haymakers.
You should be launching with that. And I get the Stormcast thing, and there's plenty of good articles and chatter about, you know, it's been done to death. I don't mind there being a Space Marine type of faction, iconic faction in that game. I think it's fine. I think the Stormcast are very cool, and the models are gorgeous. But there is for a game that isn't 40K, I don't think you can just keep chucking them in the same box like over and over again. It just
even with fantasy battles, they used to change the good guys up.
They did,
right?
Now the jury's out whether that works really or not.
I mean, did anything really work with?
Yeah.
They were trying everything.
They were trying, but I don't know. I think. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that part. So the rest. What else is going on in the Games Workshop market? Well, let's talk about 40K. Let's talk about the guy, the one we love, or whatever.
The absolute Chad. The absolute Chad. Chad. Yeah. The best thing about 40K is like there's like literally almost nothing has happened in 40K in a couple months, and.
Man, AOS is the son living at home in the basement, and 40K is the
doctor kid.
He comes in and he's got his trophy wife, and he's like, "Hey," and then he puts his little brother down. He's like,
"Hey, buddy,
he's
like,
give him
noogie or whatever." I love you. It's a good deal. Here's your pocket money or whatever. He throws him some money or whatever. Yeah. It really does feel like that.
And then him and Dad high five and go play golf or something. You know? Yeah. 40K
is just willing these stores forward.
Sure.
Yeah, like people are quietly buying things for their army, enjoying 10th edition. Yeah, I don't know what else do you say?
So before the video, I commented to Chris that like this just hit me. I was like, you know, there's not really any controversy or anything going on in 40K, and whatever controversies have occurred this year were all just like such
very quiet.
such like nonsensical. It was like
Sure.
Henry Cavill garbage and custode blah blah blah. Like it was nothing that really affects the products. Like there wasn't any like game related problems or big this and that. It was just very
the typical things you get, like little complaints about like, oh, this army sucks or whatever. And
even then,
you get those in every.
Even then, it's generally pretty quiet, but as in like people are just enjoying it. They like the rules, they like the models, they like the releases.
There's even a guy in the other day who's like, well, this new Genestealer cult book, I say, people are saying it's not very strong, but and he's just like, I don't care though. And he's just like, I'm really enjoying buying my Genestealer cult army, and it does seem to be like how it kind of is right now.
It's going well. It's going well, and it hasn't stopped. It's just kind of and all of the like Sisters and Gene cults that sold pretty well. And I can't really think of anything that was like really awful. Orcs were not bad. I mean, a lot of armies are just getting like a hero in a book, but people are still coming back and getting more kit. The stock levels are good again. You
can get
basically
a lot of
everything on the shelf pretty routinely. And anytime they sell an army bundle or box, it sells well. So I don't know, 40K is just like keep doing what you're doing.
It's doing the heavy lifting.
I haven't gotten any. I've only witnessed positive feedback for the new season, Pariah Nexus. Although I think the problem is still getting.
Sorry, there was the one. Yeah, so obviously the selling out of all the cards immediately.
That's a problem. Yeah,
it's a problem, but it's also like people want to play it so badly, right? And I think there's this like dual nature of like they've put such a focus on match play, and that's what you're buying the deck for. I mean, you're buying the deck to play the game the way your friends want to play, but it is in the guise of match play or whatever to use those cards. And they've pushed that so successfully with people that they can't even print enough of these decks when they or they haven't clicked that like, look, we've really made this bet. People want these decks. We need to double, triple our numbers, right? So
and the card pack is a smashing success, and I was disappointed that Age of Sigmar did not get the season is a card pack or whatever. They kind of made one. They put it in the Skaventide box,
not really
but
same,
it's incomplete because it doesn't have endless spells.
It's
just what?
It's really dumb.
I guess so that they could change them, so they could balance them, because they are data sheets technically. But the Pariah Nexus has been like generally panned is great. Players like it. It feels like in a tight, balanced season. So that's all good. Nothing but good things to say on that front. And there's still a bunch of great codexes still to come out. We still got Eldaria to come out, which is like gonna always big. I obviously what is it? Just Drukari's Night Houses.
Apparently, there's like that Imperium Forces of Imperium.
Oh, I mean, if this is true, if they did this Agents of Imperium thing that like folds. All that kind of non-Astra Militarum, non-Space Marine kind of stuff into one book. That's awesome.
Gives me like 3rd edition Demon Hunter vibes.
Demon Hunter, Witch Hunter, and
love that stuff.
Whatever was
so
the last
cool.
one. Yeah, that was.
I just like go back in my mind to like when I was a teenager, and I'm like building different Inquisitors and like war bands. That's just so fun.
It was the Inquisitor, the Witch Hunter, Inquisitor, and Demon. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I think they need to go back to that, and I hope that's true. That would be a very good release. They would do very well, and I hope they would also release a bunch of just unique models to go with it. The Choose Your Own Adventure army of that era was the coolest one for sure. It wasn't necessarily the most popular one, but whenever you saw it, it was fun, and it always screwed up with your opponent because you're like, I don't know what any of this is.
That's perfect. Love it.
Anyway, so there's lots to come there.
Not too much. So obviously we'll just do Kill Team after that because I think it's just like talking about 40K more or less. Like it's Kill Team is kind of just slowly built up, like steadily throughout its current edition. It's done really, really well overall, and it has the most amount of players now that I think it's ever had. And you see that through the kit sales and like the wall turns over pretty well. Mm-hmm. People are buying new Kill Teams all the time to play. We just ran a league that had more a lot of players in it.
So I think we had like 16 or something, but like that was like it had more plears than the 40K league that I
And, you know,
Something capped out at
accessibility.
14 or 12,
It's easier to get a kill team army together and play. But I mean, that's one of its strengths. Is that it's very accessible.
It's so accessible. So the rumors there's another version of that coming out, whatever that means. I hope they don't goof with it too much. I don't know what it needs to change, to be honest. It seems like kind of a perfect edition right now.
Yeah, I mean,
like the way it's packaged.
It is a very what do you call it? Chunky game or crunchy game.
Yeah,
sorry,
lots of rules. Yeah.
In the sense that, like, but that's also why a lot of people are enjoying it right now. So I think they got to be careful. It's one of Games Workshop's crunchiest games in terms of, like, you know, if you play Infinity, you can understand this. It's like, you know, the subtle positioning of your model around you know, a little tiny piece of cover matters a huge amount in Kill Team, and that's why a lot of people are playing it. They might look at that and say that's too chunky or crunchy. I'm going to keep saying chunky monkey. And we need to lessen that a little bit so that more people play it. But you got to be careful. Like, you also you've had a really successful edition here, and you don't want to. I think you don't want to tweak things too much.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's just they've been like, oh, it's been 3 years. It's time to put some new models out and sell a new box.
Yeah, I guess
hopefully
so.
that's what.
I mean, it was just another 2-player box with cool new minis in it. It would be great. And if you could please get rid of the dumb shapes. Can we just go to just numbers, please?
They're not going to.
I don't need to know. I don't want to know what range triangle is. It's not 3 inches.
Jay's just saying that because we just sold a bunch of essential sets to everybody in our league. I have to throw them in the bin or whatever.
No, I don't. I think it's because logically I associated the shapes with how many sides they have.
No.
And, you know, like, triangle is not 3.
It's definitely not.
You know, pentagon is not 5.
It's not. It's not. None of it is.
Square is not 4. Like, it just.
Yeah.
Circle is 1, though, I think.
It might be 1. Yeah.
Which makes sense. I just broke me. I was like, I would rile my friends. They'd come in and be like, I would just ask them out of the blue. I'd be like, how many inches do you think circle means? You'd be like, what are you talking about?
Inches a circle?
Yeah.
What are we talking about right now?
And if I said I was in square range, how would that be?
This sounds like a psychological test.
It does.
Like, what do you see when you look at this picture?
It's the stupid Android test or whatever. Yeah.
You see a turtle on its back.
On its back.
Horus Heresy, Age of Darkness.
Yeah.
The next boxed set to be getting a new edition next summer, probably.
Oh my god! I hope not.
Let's not talk about that yet.
I hope not. Maybe. Here's another game that is arguably perfect right now. I don't really know. I mean, I say that again, perfect, but, like, I'm sure there's always something you could fix.
Yeah.
But it's got all the kit. I mean, I assume they have some more plastic coming.
Well, you got the AdMech box set coming out.
You have the AdMech.
A couple weeks.
You got the AdMech range, and I think for Space Marines we're just missing like 3 things. I don't know, javelins.
Dude, fast attack, man. It's so slow.
We're missing javelins, and the thing is, we know the data sheets or the CAD drawings are available because they're in Imperialis.
That's right.
For the gun emplacements and all that junk.
Quad mortars,
dreadnought drop pods, all that junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Heresy is one of those games that is great, but also, not a ton of people coming in and just starting new. It's not the same. Like, when it was new, it was amazing. The store sold tons of stuff. Like the plastic kits sold extremely well. I haven't seen that hype around.
Oh man,
plastic kits, like where you'd sell like 30 Sicarans, or something like that, or 30 Leviathan.
The Leviathan Dreadnought release was like I'll go down in history as one of the most excitable moments.
It was
for
amazing.
People. Yeah, everyone was like, I want 2, I want 3,
I want 2 or 3. Yeah, so that I think that era's done. And even when, it's funny actually, the 365 is like their biggest box ever, or whatever, and but for some reason I have not heard. Everyone's just like, people pick it up like it's. Maybe because it has 2,000 point army in it.
Probably that. That's
and
the
it
reason,
doesn't have any other gimmicks. It just has a hardback rule set
that you actually use. I'll point that out.
You actually use.
You actually want that rule book.
Change or go out of date.
Yeah.
I don't think it's had needed very much change at all, and just a ton of minis. It's like it really is. It really is the one case study that shows you can sell a giant, console priced box if it's just minis and the only other frill is a rule book.
Yeah,
it's like pretty interesting.
it's actually a starter set, right? Like that's the thing too, is like you get models to play a game. You could split into two forces and play if you wanted to, or it gives you a meaningful army. And it's the thing I love about that box too is it's a box of ideas.
Yeah.
Like you buy it and the Space Marines in there are a blank canvas.
Yeah.
You can kit bash them with all sorts of stuff, 3D printers. You can paint them all sorts of. It's just it's a great imagination experience.
It is.
All the Forge World kits that match with it and stuff. It really is like just a box of ideas. I love it. It's really well done.
Yeah. So now, in terms of like if we were going to ask that default question, like, well, how's it doing though? I'm like, it's doing fine.
It's okay.
It's a historical.
I think it this is the problem is it also. Games like this need these like releases, but and people will complain if there's a new edition next year. I think there will be some people that complain, but I think it also will need it from a sales point of view. Maybe. I think it's going to need that injection of people to look at it again. Because one thing a new edition will do is it'll give the 98% of people that are playing miniature war games and 99% that aren't playing it. They'll put their eyes on it for a few weeks and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does it need to be next year? Maybe not. Maybe the year after. But like, I know Games Workshop has this like 3-year rotation for the other two games, and then so there's always this off year that has nothing. And Horus Heresy is their next biggest game, so it just feels like probably. Will be
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I hope they just release spaceships next year.
I mean, that's flyers. Yeah, flyers. Flyers are the thing they haven't done for Heresy either. Plastic flyers.
Yeah. I want those. I want spaceships.
You want actual spaceships? That would be pretty sweet. Anyway, Legion Imperialis. So just tagging onto that.
Yeah, it's. I think it's finally fully released. It has so many kits. I would say it's a cool product. It mostly sold on FOMO though, I think. Yeah. There is not many games of it that get played, and it makes sense. It's super niche. It's it's tiny Horus Heresy specifically. And a lot of people that bought it were Horus Heresy players already, and they, I don't know. It gets played occasionally at the store.
It's slowed down a lot,
but it's not
sales-wise.
It's not.
It's slowed down a lot.
And once again, I hate that companies do this. I get why they do it, but they always release the cool bundle boxes way at the end. So
those battle groups are incredible.
They're
boxes.
Great. So
incredible. Yeah.
If you have a starter box that you haven't even opened, kind of like me, that box is perfect because now that I've sat down to read the book and look at the points, if I take my contents of my starter box and add one of those battle groups, I have a full army basically. Yeah. I have like 3,000 points or something like that. Yeah. Which is perfect, and it's like good for dumb people like me that don't want to sit in the weeds writing a jillion lists and figuring out exactly what I need to buy to make an optimal list. I just want to clink some models together and just shove it on the table. So, So I would say I would not be surprised if both Horus Heresy and Legion Imperialis in the next 2 years, 1 to 2 years, you will see a lot more of it go online only, probably. I just think it's had its like time on the shelf, and they're going to need to make room for other things. I think anyway.
It's possible, yeah. It's possible. Necromunda. It's an exciting one.
So this has a big release coming.
Yeah, Secundus, Necromunda Secundus or whatever. For those of you who hadn't paid attention to it, it's basically. So you have like the hive city of Necromunda, and then you have like this other one that's like sitting off in the distance that used to be a hive city, and they virus bombed it because it had a gene stealer outbreak.
Right.
So the cool part about this is it lets you. It's essentially a new campaign setting where you are these fancy boy rich people that
the Ansars or
the what are they called? The oh geez, lost my.
Someone in comments will know.
Spires.
No. Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Are they spires? You put it in the comments. Yeah, I'm just having a brain fart.
Yeah.
I do know it. And they basically hire these little hunting parties to go with them. And essentially they're going to go like high score and just like kill a whole bunch of like these mutated Malstream gene stealers. Nice. And so it's the campaign system looks really interesting. It's from what I could tell, and I'm not 100% on this yet because I've just read a few of the Warhammer community articles. It's almost like you and your opponent, you and your friends that are playing, all may take your own hunting parties, and like you're just trying to like play against the Gene Stealers together and see how well you can do in a campaign while you like, hunt skulls and try to, basically do that sort of thing. So it's kind of neat idea. Yeah. Models are fantastic as always. I'm actually really surprised at the price point. It's like, for Canadians, it's only like $210, which is really good.
Yeah. They continue to price their specialist offerings generally lower to keep it like they know that it is not the mainline item. Less people are collecting it. It's a lot of people, older people, like people that used to collect the game ages ago that are playing it now, anyway. So, but yeah, don't sleep on that. And like anything, Necromunda or any specialist, they don't make a lot of them.
Yeah.
So these are true FOMO items that you should probably consider. I think it comes with cool terrain. And it looked awesome.
The nice thing, though, is they took most of the terrain out of the box to keep the price down, and they're going to sell it separately, which I think is probably a good idea.
Sure.
And then it'll be followed up pretty quickly by the actual Forces book that you want to get if you actually want to play those things. Yeah. But just how's Necromunda doing? To be honest, it's one of the steadier, small Games Workshop miniature games. And I think that a lot of that strength comes from the fact that it's this really fun, casual RPG kind of game. The people that collect it just love collecting it. They're always playing campaigns with their friends, starting a new warband. They just nibble, throughout the year. It's very healthy. Yeah. I guess we could probably tie Blood Bowl and
the rest
of them together. Yeah.
I don't even box games and blah blah blah. I don't even know. We're just looking way over there.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't heard already, Warhammer Underworld is dead.
Underworld is dead. Yeah.
It's 2 bullets in the back of the head. Yeah. Dead.
Yeah. It's well, they've started there was a Dark Oath one and Kalis and Toll. They started to just package some of those teams as regular releases because they were no one's.
It'll be a good video. Maybe we can make a video about what happened to that game. So it's actually pretty interesting.
It is.
Probably one of the better products they've ever made too.
It was really, very cool, and there's a lot of foundational elements from that you're seeing in other games.
Yeah, like Spearhead, for example.
Yes.
Yeah. Not much to say about games like Blood Bowl. They kind of just exist and they sell. Nothing. There's not a lot of spikes. Just kind of even we have a new Blood Bowl team comes out every couple times a year. There's a couple people are interested, come and buy it.
Yeah,
and that's it. It's pretty.
You know what? The fact it sells anything is a bonus for such an old game. That has a computer equivalent that is perfect. It's that people still buy.
Ironically, there's a lot of community-driven sort of activity for that game, which I think is a very telling thing. There's a couple of leagues that are run in the area. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a current state of things.
Is anyone really surprised?
I don't know. Not me.
If we did the market update as a meme, as a picture, would it just be a giant handsome man? That had 40 on his head, carrying a backpack of all the other games or whatever, up a mountain or whatever.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
Yeah,
it would be exactly that.
But then it'd be boring to do market updates because they'd all kind of be
they would be the same, and we'll continue to do them. No, the centerpiece of this one was obviously what's going on with AOS, and we'll see.
There's a lot of we'll see. Yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
Stop saying AOS. It makes our views go down. AOS. Thanks for watching. Until next time, guys. Like and subscribe, please. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.